business?
Wow, I grew up in upstate New York. I started playing in bands when I was 15 and playing in clubs when I was about 15, which was interesting because the legal age was 18. So I was sneaking into clubs and playing in bands, and from there to New York and then to Berkeley and Boston for a little bit. And over the years, moved to LA. Actually, Indianapolis. I went from New York to Indianapolis for years because there was a band called Faith Band that had a record deal near the Muncie area. Some of the guys are from Muncie, actually. And they asked me to come in and write songs for them, and I ended up staying for the whole run of their record deal, touring with, we toured with Fleetwood Mac and Hall & Oates and all these bands of the era, So definitely grew up in a band background and started really early. But now I didn't start reading music, or I still am the worst at that, reading music and all that. It just was a total, learn it on your own kind of thing for the most part. Even Berkeley, I did just a couple semesters, just enough to be a little dangerous.
Just curious, what market would you say you're mostly geared toward with your ideas in songwriting?
It has been, I've had songs cut in pop music, dance music, country music for sure, Christian music, some in jazz. That to me has been, one of the most fun things about being a songwriter as opposed to an artist. I started as an artist, with record deals and all that. To me, that got a little boring creatively because you kind of get in a box a little bit. So as soon as people started cutting my songs, that was way more interesting to me, to be able to try to write anything different. So I would say at this point in life, I'll still write pop, especially I work in England a lot on that. And I'll write pop music and I'll write country music, and maybe even Americana, I suppose.
What's your process when you're writing a song? Do you have a certain time in the day when you work on it, or do you wait till you're inspired, or you just sit down with paper and something comes while you're working on it?
That's a pretty great question over the long run for you guys. And that is that, again, I've been doing it forever. So you have to develop a system of some sort. So in coaching people, I always call it a ritual. And part of that is figuring out when you are your best, when you're your most creative, let's put it that way. So for me, it has almost always been really early morning because other things haven't gotten in the way yet. So over the years, I might start at some ungodly hour, like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, because I'm not getting on the internet, I'm not getting on the phone. When my kids were in the house growing up, nobody was up. I would just get up and go downstairs to my studio or outside when I had studios and work really early. It's all about you guys, how you feel when you feel the most creative, and also avoiding it when you don't feel creative. That's a big one too. Like creative burnout is pretty bad because it'll make you not love what you're doing. So something I could suggest to you right where you are now is create a ritual that maybe is only 2 hours long or something, maybe once a week, that is just devoted to songwriting. And pick a time you can show up, you can focus, and make it short enough so you can quit. Really, like 2 hours later, you go, okay, I'm done. I'll show up next time and look forward to it. It doesn't mean you quit writing songs in your head. You still go do other things to look for ideas. But one of my points is, creative burnout is a pretty big subject with writers that have been doing it a long time. And you have to find lots of ways to keep yourself interested, because you probably all had ideas that were just pure inspiration, but it's hard to have a career that way because it doesn't show up that often. So a lot of my career has been made up of, going to bookstores, writing down titles, going to the library looking for anything that I might write about sooner or later, watching TV and movies with my phone near me to write down anything I hear. That's part of your whole journey, guys, as writers. Stay interested.
All right, well, let's